I'm Nathan Price, and I'm supposed to be reading Brave New World, which is taking away time from me reading the Bible since I'm already saved and advanced. Just ignore that I don't have an accent right now. It's really late right now, and I'm not feeling very holy. This is seriously the most horrifying book that I've read in my whole life, which the only other books I've read in my holiness life is the Bible, of course. My wife is so disgusting. I think she got pregnant again. She doesn't deserve it. I don't deserve it because she makes me not deserve it. Because I blame everybody because I'm perfectly holy. Axelrod, I don't really care about him. He's not saved. I mean, I pray for him, but besides that, I don't care because I'm a hypocrite. I look down on everything in Brave New World that I've read so far because it's disgusting, and I have a very narrow mind, and I also think that I'm like Christ reincarnated. I can't help but think about that John the Savage guy. I mean, I only like people that are white, but I also hate Indians. I hate anybody that doesn't wear enough clothes and read the Bible. I'm sexist and controlling. I'm hypocritical, even though I said that already. But John the Savage, he does have some good qualities. He wants to preserve himself for the harlot of all nations. But in this book, they call her, she goes by the name of Lenina. Such whoring. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that in this presentation, but it doesn't matter because I'm a fictional character. Then again, I also like Mustafa Mond, just because he read the Bible, so I feel as if he can somehow connect to me in my hypocriticalness. But then again, he said he doesn't believe. He said God is not modern, which ye blasphemy, and some insert verse from the Bible that I can't think of right now because I'm just a fictional character. I'm critical of almost everyone, but not to be hating. My top person I don't like would most likely be Lenina because she's just a harlot. She doesn't follow any Christian values that I cherish so dearly. She's disgusting. She goes to orgies. Nakedness is the darkness of the soul, page 27. Now the second person I don't like is probably Helmholtz. He knows what he's doing wrong, but he still does it. The sinner. Helmholtz is an evil sinner because he writes Hypnopedia and he never repented for his evilness that brainwashed others just as the way the Bible can do to me. Oh, wait, except I didn't say that. Bernard he fears too much and that's a sin. He fears that no one will like him. He was a somewhat respectable character before until he had relations with the harlot of all nations, also known as Lenina. He has failed. Linda is just a vain woman that reminds me of my wife, so if I ever see her in real life, I'll probably attack her and break her plates. He hated Poppy, them all the men who came to see Linda, said John the Savage about his mother, page 125. Nathan prayed aloud after he had sex with Orlana. Not one of those men will ever see a son born to carry on his name, and you dare to gloat before Christ himself about your undeserved blessing. And he blamed me for my wantonness. His love for God is one who is quick to blame others for his mistakes. He meant personally to save more souls than had perished on the road from Batan, I think, and all other paths ever walked by the blight of mankind. Nathan believed one thing above all else, that the Lord notices righteousness and rewards it. So if we suffered in our little house on the peanut plain of Bethlehem, it was proof that one of us had committed a failure of virtue. The eyes of God were watching, he gave me to know. If I stood still for a moment in the backyard between hanging up sheets to blah 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 blah. He observed my idleness. He dared me to enjoy the warm water. I failed to understand why it would take 6 months for someone to inform me of that simple fact, said Nathan after he finds out a girl was eaten by a crocodile in the river he was trying to baptize the Congo in, page 81. Methuselah curses, page 65. Nathan throws Methuselah, page 81. My parents shunned him completely. They're talking about Axaru, page 111. Climbing trees is for boys and monkeys is what Nathan Price tells his youngest daughter Ruth May, page 120. Nathan Price destroys Orleana's favorite plate due to vanity, and he says, "Who are you showing off for here with your tablecloth and your fancy plate?" The way to a young N-word's heart is through his stomach. Is that what you're counting on? Page 134. Consider your own lives, said Mustafa Mond. Has any of you ever encountered an insurmountable obstacle? Well, began one of the boys. I once had to wait nearly 4 weeks before a girl would let me have her. Page 45, Brave New World.
That is disgustingly sinning.
Everyone says I'm awfully pneumatic, said Lenina, reflectively patting her own legs. Page 93. I didn't want it to end without going to bed. Not on the first day. 93.
Sinners. Sinning! That's disgusting. Sinning.
John hangs himself. He beats himself. Page 258. Mustafa Mond thinks that God is not modern enough for the modern world.
That's a sin. That is a sin.
Page 233. Well, he manifests himself as an absence, as though he weren't there at all, says Mustafa Mond about God, page 234. God is incompatible with machinery and scientific medicine and universal happiness, page 234. Says the Bible is smut. The people would be shocked.
Ugh, that is ruining my holy image. Sinners.
People believe in God because they've been conditioned to believe in God, page 235. Feelies, page 235.
I, Nathan Price, do not approve of this sin.
What about self-denial then? If you had a God, you'd have a reason for self-denial, says John, page 236. Nathan would agree with this. Chastity, 237. John the Savage. Civilization has no need for heroism, 237, says Mustafa Mond. Nathan would not agree with this due to the Baton Death March. Soma, page 237. Claiming the right to be unhappy, I want God, says John the Savage, page 240. The word father. Childbearing is immoral, gross, and pornographic and loathsome.
That's a sin. That is a sin. That is disgustingly sinning.
Page 151. Whore. John the Savage calls Lenina, page 194. John the Savage, going back to him, he does beat himself, which I do to myself mentally, and I also do to my wife physically. I do kind of agree with part of his theories, like where he said he mentioned Jesus one time, so automatically he's better than everybody else. Overall, this is the most filthifying novel I've ever read. It should be burned in the pits of hellfire, and sprinkled with the skulls of unbaptized baby, like that religious book that I heard of a long time ago. By that other minister guy that was as fanatical as me. I mean religious.
The world state is ungodly because everyone's made it in a canister of some sort. I don't know, because I'm a fictionist character from the past, so I don't really know how to phrase it. But I'll say some kind of metallic contraption, test tube contraption that people are made with the power of the devil in them, and it's just a sin. No matter what, it's a sin. It doesn't matter that I don't know what I'm talking about. Sin! Sin. It's a sin.
Well, I guess this would be the conclusion of this short presentation. I, Nathan Price, am going to close the book, and hopefully it will close the sins of the world, everything. My overall opinion of the novel Brave New World by Aldous Huxley is that it is the spawn of Satan, and it cannot be questioned at all.
Going out like a sucking away.